In this video, we're going to review how to create a heat map based on the deviation from a specific plane. In a previous video, we discussed how to perform a topographic analysis by creating a heat map and a contour map using specific points or a datum in the cloud. The difference really is that instead of referencing a specific point, we are now going to reference a plane. But everything else that we did in terms of adding in an elevation box and exclusion zones, that all applies. I am going to just use some pre-populated boxes in this model that I'm going to expose. So I'm just cutting down the model in the point cloud, as you see here. And this is my elevation box that I've previously set. You can see the information here. I'm going to now go from Z elevation as a mode to plane deviation. And you notice when you do that, now we have the option to select a plane. And we have fit plane 1 here. Fit plane 1 corresponds to the plane or constraint that I've previously made, which I'm going to turn on so you can see it. And what this represents is the plane defined by these 4 points. In this particular case, I'm doing it or fitting that plane pretty much to the slab on grade. And why I might want to do that, and I'm just going to turn this off for the moment, make it easier to see. Why I might want to do that is this elevation box is at the underside of this existing roof deck. The plane is at the top of the slab on grade, and maybe I don't want the contour topographic analysis of the top of this slab, which would be useful for maybe slopes. I want to use the deviation from this slab on grade for, say, installing some shoring or knowing how the underside of the slab relates to the top of the slab on grade in some way. So I'm then going to go to this plane dropdown, select that fit plane 1 based on a previously applied constraint. I'm going to pick the side that I want to view from, which, because we're looking at the top, that's going to be the side we're looking at. Left click there. We can click apply for our contour information, which we can change after. And then, like before, we're going to left click compute. And it's going to do some work in the background. And you can see now we've populated that heat map in the underside of the slab. If we want to see those contours, we can do that. And you'll notice that these contours are fairly consistent in this particular example, unlike the previous one. And that more or less makes sense because my plane that I'm fitting to, or finding the deviation from, I should say, is relatively consistent this slab on grade. And as long as there wasn't too many issues with the formwork, the underside of this slab should be fairly consistent. And that's good for props and the like. We don't have, say, a much larger distance over here compared to this bay over here. If you want to tighten up those contours, we're going to left click into the box and put in some value like before, press apply, and we can see more contours here. If you want to hide them, left click to hide, and you're all done.